swimming through the process, and you can't see me on the Loch Ness. You can proceed with caution, give the proceeds to my God kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop quick, buy drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talking about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up, pull my out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no. Hey Pete, let it ride out.
Thicker the pie, thicker the bag. Meet them a bite, now lace in no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin. Now the cutie, now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out, she don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. Where we gon' I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. A look now at the Oakland offense.
The NFL's Comeback Player of the Year in 2016 is Jordy Nelson. He couldn't duplicate the magic last year with his quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the shelf for a big portion of it due to injuries, but he's still well respected around the league. If you want to run press coverage against him, be prepared for him to run by you.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a safety run. Parker there to make the tackle. And let's take a look at the defensive striders for Kansas City.
And when you're looking for a big-time corner, look no further than Kendall Fuller. Acquired in the offseason, he's much more than just a throw-in the Alex Smith deal. This guy knows how to cover. This guy makes plays on the football. And he tackles well in the open field. Not bad for one of 4 Fuller brothers to play in the NFL.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Mahomes now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 9 yards there, and they get a 1st down. To throw, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the run, it's Ware. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them. They're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And Butker able to put this one through. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive with Lynch, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Carr. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Oh, look at the juke. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Yeah, they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On the ground, this is Ware. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They run it here. Where? And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the... end zone, and now 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And the kick by Butker is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And now here come the Raiders. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
His throw incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
On 2nd down, Lynch. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 48 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Carr now on 1st down. And he finds LaFell complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patches, I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got it for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Following the penalty, Lynch. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Get down.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And Forbath will put this one through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This will be taken in at the 1. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now here comes Kansas City. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run now with Ware. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Ready, green 39, green 39.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Carr now on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Hitchens. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Get down.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Throwing now is Carr. And he completes it to Jordy Nelson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ready. Black 35. Black 35.
The first throw for Henne, the veteran backup. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go. Here we go. White 18.
Henne. And the Raiders have got him.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the 2nd quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. The Jets out to the early lead. Josh McCown leading the way offensively.
Now, 185.
1st down, the run with Lynch. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Down.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Now.
Shotgun now for Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 53. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is. And heading out for another drive, the Raiders defense. And they have been disruptive in the backfield. And how often when we see this, as we look at some of these highlights, is it just better players getting in there versus scheme that is defeating the offense?
It's a great question, and I think oftentimes we rely on scheme. We fall back, say, well, the scheme broke down, rather than giving credit to the players making plays. But when the scheme does break down, you're looking at oftentimes just being overloaded. Too many guys coming from one side or one particular area, then you can actually block them. You know, if there's two guys there to block them, they'll bring three, and that third guy will get through. So when you want to max protect there, meaning getting everyone in, your whole offensive line, your tight end, and your running backs, trying to make sure that you're never outnumbered by the defensive guys coming in.
Ready.
Now Henning. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
Ready.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Now back to throw. And he checks this one down to Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got it. This is Ware. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Ready.
They'll set up a throw. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there, defense. In the end zone, and now third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. Third and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for fourth down.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a Spencer Ware touchdown run. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marshawn Lynch and the Raider offense heading back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On first down, Carr. And that'll be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Space to maneuver at the 40. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Get set.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The dump off good for 8 there on first down. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Get down, get down. You wide,
Again, it's Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. A Raider 1st down as Carr finds Cooper.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for.
Get down, get down. 180. What's up? What's up?
They'll run for it with Lynch. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They come out here in the I. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This is 3rd and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got. Here is Lynch on 3rd and goal. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the 1st half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and the lead down to 3 at 13-10. That time a 9-play drive, and it's all capped off by a Marshawn Lynch touchdown run. Forbath out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Here's Carr to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Jarvis Jenkins in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. On second down, here's Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Raiders on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where you see the final score there. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who have the lead in that one at halftime. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Andy Dalton, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection.
Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Ready.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Set. Right. 20.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
Right back to him on first down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On play action, they'll throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. The Chiefs on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Hitting. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Set. Right 20. Right 20.
They run again with Ware. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
In the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Ready. Right 20. Right 20.
They'll drop to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8.
Set. Right 20.
He'll look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And Butker able to put this one through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Now, you're wide 88. Where's the hunt?
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Let's go now.
Now Henny. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Emmanuel Lamar able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Third and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Set. Left 35.
Back to throw here. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum. Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They run again on 1st down, Lynch. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Tough 1st half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Get down, get down!
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, Let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is
Carr and the
reversed.
Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Get down, get down. 180.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10.
Down.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Roberts with it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Monday, down. 280.
From the gun, it's Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Roberts. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Down. 180.
Carr now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Down. 180. 618.
Carr to throw again. He'll dump it off complete to Lynch. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. They'll run with Lynch, and that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Down! You waiting?
Shotgun now for Carr. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Anthony Hitchens in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Monday, down! You waiting?
Throwing now is Carr. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone, and now it'll be 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do him much good.
Monday, down! You waiting?
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Derek Carr punching it in from a yard away. And the Raiders are an extra point away from taking the lead. Well, there was no secret there. They were in goal line formation. They wanted to pound it in on 4th and goal, and they did just that.
And how about the challenge? That's a challenge to the offensive line, which they eagerly accept. Haven't met a lineman yet that doesn't want to run the ball more than throw it because they get to fire out and really smack someone. And, boy, they got it done. I'm sure they were encouraging them on the sideline. Let's go. And let's run the ball as well. And they put it in for 6.
Forbath, the extra point, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Let's go now!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now a handoff looking right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Let's go now.
They'll look to throw here. And able to find Conley. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Henny now, 9 of 17 through the air. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Throw left side complete. That's Ellis. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Black 35. Black 35.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And they'll go on the ground. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And the kick by Butker is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards. And he's able to clock it with time remaining. And now they'll have a shot at a long field goal that is going to decide this game. So now it all rests on the foot of Kai Forbath. This from long, very long range. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And